So there is a knowledge gap. The boys cannot magically know what they have not been taught over time. At home, the mothers are just watching the girls like a hawk. The fathers are doing the same. Don't go out, be careful, this and that. But the boy child, during that session, we still ask the question. Oh, for example, if a boy is expected to cook, is it wrong? And they're like, yes, why should a boy be cooking? They are girls. And these are the conversations that lead to, I like to share one. When my younger brother went to the university, were two older daughters before him. Of course, it will look like he doesn't have any business in the kitchen until he went to school. And in 2 weeks, his pocket money was over, and he called and said, please, mommy, I want to cook. And he didn't know the first thing about how to cook. And she sent him a lengthy text message on how to go about that. There was no WhatsApp at the time, I believe. And whatever he was able to cook, he had to eat it. When he came back, it was so emaciated, was lean. This young man, if my mom enters the kitchen from this pot to this pot, he was following her. Mommy, well done. Mommy, well done. She started learning. That was the point he understood that cooking is a life skill. It's not gender based. Now he's in school. Was my mom there? No. As the older sisters were with him, no. He had to survive. So he had to learn to cook. Right. Presently, he's thriving. He cooks for himself and he's doing well. And I was sharing this with the boys as well. And this will also explain why mentorship matters. We had a project a few years back, which was tailored specifically for the boy child. It wasn't a 1 day visit, just like this recent one we went for. Even the principal was saying, please come back. Even the boys were happy about what they had to learn, and they were asking us to return. Because at the end of the day, sensitization that leads to reorientation and behavioral change cannot be a one-time thing. And that project we did a few years back for the boy child, something happened. Every weekend, the sensitization was going on different topics. We had decision making and consequences. We talk about peer pressure, substance abuse, mental health, self-care, physical care, boys' health, boys as advocate for the prevention of sexual and gender-based violence. Even also understanding that boys too can get abused, knowing the science, how to prevent it, understanding trusted adults who to report to, and setting boundaries with their relationship with girls. And it was ongoing. And at the end of 6 months, even treating their sisters better, we discussed gender roles. Their mothers started coming to the session and asking, what are you telling our sons? These boys are behaving better. They are treating their sisters with respect. They are they are assisting with house chores and just being responsible young men. This was in 2021. And last year, 2025, late last year, we went to the communities to check on these boys and see what they are up to. And we were so excited that the community leader said, out of the trouble going on in the community, none of these boys have been caught in any of those issues. That's what mentorship does. What we did was a tailored mentorship, bringing reorientation to the boys through continuous sensitization. They felt seen, they felt heard, they asked the questions they had, and we provided answers. And we got young men to lead these sessions because then they can relate. If this young man is saying this, he was once my age. It wasn't like a father figure thing where they clamp shut because, oh, it's a father talking to us and he might become judgmental. Boys need support. And like that boy said, when you are done helping the girls, we'll mess them up. So at the end of the day, what are we doing? Some of these things that these boys do, it's almost like a cry for help, right? There's no attention on them. Okay, just like the girls who ask a lot of questions during our menstrual hygiene outreaches, where we discuss issues, life skills, talk about relationships, how to build a positive self-esteem, and all of that. Boys also have these questions. Where do they ask these questions? When peer pressure becomes too much, who are they supposed to talk to? When boys are becoming leaning towards toxic masculinity, one of the questions we asked them over the weekend, okay, so you like a girl and you talk to her and she says no, what do you do? A lot of them say you apply pressure. So then we have to now talk about human rights, understanding boundaries. No means no. Consent is everything. Teaching them this because you don't know, you don't know. See, you can't expect a boy child to do better when he doesn't even know better, when he doesn't have role models around him willing to have the conversation, helpful, life saving conversations with these young boys. The young boys you support today, you guide, provide direction, you let them ask you questions, and you know, you provide the responses to them factually. They become responsible young men and they transition into adulthood, well grounded adults who become husbands, responsible husbands, caring and supportive, not the ones that beat up their wives. They become good fathers themselves because then they are able to replicate and teach their sons this. They become better leaders, they become better friends because care was or time was taken to guide them and provide them mentorship about life, about decision making, about consequences. We were telling the boys recently that see, if a boy commits crime, he will go to jail irrespective of his age. There are Boston home for boys, underage boys. We have at least 7 in Nigeria, and those places are crammed, filled with young boys who were at the wrong places at the right time, who got into crime knowingly or unknowingly. And their lives are never the same again because, first of all, we have a weak a system where they don't have all the care they need. By the time boys leave such a facility, they are lean, they are hungry, they are even more likely to become more criminalized because of the kind of boys they have met there. How will they now integrate into society? Who wants to give them their daughters to marry? Chances are they become even more hardened criminals. But all of this can be prevented, right? So my point is, let's not just leave the focus for the girl child. Our boys need our help. All that energy and everything, it needs redirection. We're telling them over the weekend, not all boys can go to school, either because of poverty or lack of access to education. But there are skills you can learn. Doing that, our project a few years back at the Rule of Law Development Foundation, by the way, it was called Project Hope for the Boy Child. We also provide them with economic skills, tailoring, shoemaking, glass work, even barbing, hairstyling. We have several of them now. They are in school, in the higher institution. They are paying their way through school. The one that is into hairstyling, see, Kevin here, he makes for an average of 4 to 5 girls hair daily, and he makes good money and is taking care of himself, paying for his way through school. So we're sharing this with them. Imagine if government can also build recreational centers at each community where boys can go there, all this energy, drop it, pump it into something positive, learn chess, go into sports, and represent the nation in global athletics activities and events, sporting events. There's so much potential for the boy child that they can achieve even outside of formal education. But it starts from the home front. As parents, what are you doing? Are you even creating opportunities to have conversation with the boy child? To know that he can be better, he can do better, to hold him accountable. First of all, how he treats his sister at home, how he treats his mother. There is this popular saying that mothers love their sons and train their daughters. It shouldn't be so. You can love and train both gender at the same time. So you don't let your sons get away with so many bad attitudes while your focus is raising your daughter. The son you love him and you think by loving him you don't want to correct him becomes a husband tomorrow who doesn't know the first thing about how to be a good husband or lead the family, who uses his fist every time he gets angry because he did it to his sister and his mother never stopped him. That project I was talking about, it was the chief that was telling us, oh, we came for another outreach for the women and girls, and he said, you're back here again. Our boys are the problem. The girls are fine, the women are fine. Oh, see, they have graduated from beating up their girlfriends, they're now beating up their mothers. What are you going to do about it? And I'm grateful for my organization where I work, and the leadership decided to do something about it. Boys need help. Boys need our support. Boys need mentorship from toxic masculinity, where they believe they have to rough handle girls to earn respect, where they believe the friends they keep, even if they demand them showing traits of or behaving um, uh, negative patterns and harmful behaviors to prove their masculinity and their strength. That no, they actually have the right to choose new friends who are going in the same direction, teaching boys about values, societally and personal, how to set goals, relationship with money, about cyber crime, and to know cyber crime goes beyond uh, 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 um, Yahoo or stealing from uh, hardworking people. To know that it's also knowing that taking a picture of a girl, either with her consent, then using it later to blackmail her is a jailable offense. All this constitute a cybercrime, or making a video or a sex tape of a girl and using it to humiliate her later or blackmail her. All this constitute cyber crime. As you're teaching the boys, also of course teach the girls. This is important for both gender. But my point is, it's time to start. It's beginning to tell on society that the boys have been left behind and the girls are paying the price. More girls now are learning how to defend themselves, how to be careful. Why? Careful about boys? Who said boys should be dangerous? There are many podcasts online teaching boys how to be mean, how to be unkind to girls, how to be emotionally detached, how to be emotionally unavailable, calling them simp if boys try to treat girls with respect. But you as a parent, you have a role to play. Let your voice be the first voice that these boys hear, so that when they go out there, these negative voices doesn't influence them. When boys are well raised, families are safer, society is safer. Sisters, girlfriends, mothers, wives, daughters are safer in the hands of these same boys. This, you can consider this a call out, but yes, you can do better. I will always say, parents, be a good shepherd. God entrusted these boys, these sons into your care, and you have to do something about it. Talk to them, create an avenue. Fathers, go closer to your son, not by being judgmental. No, create an avenue where they can ask questions and provide them responses in a safe space. And don't use whatever they share against them. They won't trust you next time to ask you, right? And for older brothers, please watch out for your younger ones. The peer pressure is much. The school we were at, the teachers were talking about how these boys are fighting the teachers in government schools, in private schools. Because why? That we have to show they have a lot of energy, but it has to be redirected. There's only so much that teachers can do, but it starts from the home. It starts from the home front. What is the role of parents, of older siblings in guiding these boys? And sometimes it might not even be a relative, it's a young boy in your environment. Just invite him and have conversation, positive, healthy conversations that change behavior and mindset and opinion. So boys can make better decisions. That the first time you get stressed up, you don't have to pick cigarette or something to start taking. The first sign of stress, you don't have to take weed and these other substances. You don't need all of this to be inspired. Tell them about addiction and the consequences, how difficult it is to break these things, these habits. Talk to them about pornography. They are exposed. Every young boy now, even betting. These are major dangerous addiction affecting boys presently in the society. And we have platforms now steadily advertising them. Just try and go online to Google something there in your face. And boys who don't even know get addicted to these things and all their finances going there. Talk to them. Be the first to speak to them so that when these influences are coming, they are able to resist it. See, when you know something, you are able to avoid it. But when you don't know, head mentality, peer pressure is a thing. And we need you, parents, siblings, older siblings, we need you. to fight all of these evil menace against our boys. Boys are important members of society. They are very important members of society. With them, we can count on safety. This is what my conversation today is about, and I hope you've learned something. And if you'd like to share, I look forward to reading from you from the comment section. And I hope you can pledge and commit to doing better, teaching the boys about boundaries with girls, teaching them to become responsible adults, about positive masculinity. When they know a girl there is a plan to gang rape a girl, they are the ones that speak out and say no, or even tell the girls to be careful. When they see a girl is stained on her period, they don't mock her and take pictures and become vicious bullies, but they get to protect girls. Boys need girls, girls need boys. We need each other. Enough of these gender wars, right? Thank you so much for joining me for this session. Talk to you soon again.